friends, muy buenos días parientes. Today I wanted to make a video on for social studies when it came to the roads in Belize. Okay, so or the highways, the ones that you have in your package. So I just want to quickly help you out with the major highways in our country of Belize. So today we will be covering four of them, which is the Philip Goldson Highway, the George Price Highway, the Hummingbird Highway, the Southern Highway, and the Coastal Highway. Why do I say it first? Is because the last one, which is the Coastal Highway, they usually do not consider it as a highway, um, and I will explain that later on. Okay, but we will be covering these major four highways that we have in our country, Belize. All right, so with no further delay, let's begin with the first one. Okay, so the first one, the first highway we'll be covering today, kids, is the Philip Goldson Highway. Okay, I'll repeat that. The Philip Goldson Highway. Okay, and let me show you the map. This map here that you see here is the same map that you have in your package. So meanwhile you are looking at this video, you can open your page from your package where you see this map. Okay, so one thing I want to fix from that map, which I have done in this one, is you see here I have placed a line here, right, and a line here. Okay, the reason is because this map has this road as the Northern Highway. Okay, but that name has been changed some years ago, and now it is called the Philip Goldson Highway. Okay, so in your one you will see there the Northern Highway, but you can put a line just the way I did here. You see, you can put a line there, and then you can put the Philip Goldson Highway there, and I will show you right in a moment where is the Philip Goldson Highway located. Okay, kids, so let's see what we need to know about the Philip Goldson Highway. And it says the Philip Goldson Highway, formerly known as the Northern Highway. You see, kids, it once was named the Northern Highway, but now they have changed the name to Philip Goldson Highway. Okay, which goes between Belize City. So it goes between Belize City here in the map, can you see, and just north of Corozal and the Mexico border. So it will go here way up to Chetumal or Mexico border. Okay, and it's approximately 95 miles from Belize City to the Mexican border in Chetumal. So let me show you where is that highway specifically. Okay, so here we have Belize City. Look, kids, here I'm trying to color it red. So this northern highway goes from Belize City. So let me trace out, right? It goes from Belize City up to the Mexican border, right? Reaches Corozal, but it continues way up to the Mexican border here, right? In Chetumal. If you have went to the Mexican border there in Chetumal, you know what we mean. Okay, so here that's called, as how we said, the Philip Goldson Highway. So you can see it here, right? You can see here the highway that I mean. So it goes from Belize City and it goes way up to the Mexican border in Chetumal. Okay, and it's 95 miles in length. Okay, so that's called the Philip Goldson Highway, kids. Excellent. Let's move on then. Okay, so you can highlight that in your map as well. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the other highway. Okay. So let's move on to the other highway that we will need to know, and this one is called the George Price Highway. Okay. This one is called the George Price Highway. And again, look, if you look at your map here, I had put another line, right? In this map. In your map, it will say the Western Highway. If you look at your one, it says the Western Highway. I want you to put a line on that name, because as, as the same thing happened to the Northern Highway. They changed the name. It is no longer called the Western Highway, but now it is called the George Price Highway. Okay? So let's hear some information about the George Price Highway. And it says, George Price Highway, formerly known as the Western Highway. So this highway used to name, or the name was Western Highway, but they changed it now to the George Price Highway, kids. Okay? Which goes between Belize City. So this highway goes from Belize City and Benque Viejo del Carmen near Guatemala. So this highway, the George Price Highway, goes from Belize City way up to Benque Viejo del Carmen, right about here, right near Guatemala, you see. So this highway take us to Guatemala, all right, to Melchor. I think that will be the if you have went to Melchor, you have traveled through the George Price Highway in those times when you used to go to those places, right? And it says it's approximately 81 miles. Okay, it's approximately 81 miles or 130 kilometers. Okay, so let me show you where is this George Price Highway. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you, and I will use another color so that you can see. So this one I will use yellow. Okay, so this highway starts from Belize City, right, and it goes to Belmopan, right? It passes through Belmopan, right, and Benquebejo del Carmen, right, and it reaches here, right, to near Guatemala. All right. So this where what you're seeing there, the in yellow, right? The line in yellow is showing you the George Price Highway, kids. All right, which goes from Belize City to Benque Viejo del Carmen, which is near the Guatemala border. Okay, so this here, what you're seeing here, the line in yellow, is the George Price Highway. So if you look at your map, you should be able to see it because I'm using the same map I gave you in your package. Alright, so if I were you, I will highlight it. So I will put something like this, the George Price Highway, right? And here I am pointing to it. Okay, so those two names you will need to change in your map, okay, because they have been changed. The names have been changed from these two highways. All right, good, excellent. So let's move on. Let's move on to the third highway. Okay, let's move on to the other highway or other major highway that we can find in our beautiful country of Belize. All right, so the other highway is called the Hummingbird Highway. Okay, the Hummingbird Highway. So let's see where is this highway found. Okay, so let me read the information for you and you try to find it in your map. Look at your map and try to find it. Oh, I saw it already. So it says the Hummingbird Highway, which goes from Belmopan to Dangriga, okay, it's approximately 55 miles or 89 kilometers. Okay, so if you look at your map here, you will be able to see the Hummingbird Highway right here. If you see here, I'm pointing at it, right? So it says that it goes from Belmopan City, okay, from Belmopan, it goes to Dangriga, to this town here in Dangriga, right? So you see, it goes from Belmopan to Dangriga. So let me highlight that um, let me highlight it for you, that highway. So it goes from Belmopan, right? And I will highlight it in light blue so that you can see here. That's why it goes from Belmopan to Dangriga. Okay? So there is the Hummingbird Highway, kids. I hope you can see it in your map, okay? And if not, you trace it as well. Okay, you trace it in your map. If your map is not so clear, you trace it with your crayons or your markers. Okay, so that you can clearly see the Hummingbird Highway. Alright, so there is the Hummingbird Highway, right? I'm pointing at it. Okay, so that's the Hummingbird Highway, which goes from Belmopan to Dangriga. Okay, good, excellent. So let's move on. Let's move on, kids. So the other highway that you will need to know in our country is called the Southern Highway. Okay, the Southern Highway. So again, let's look at our map and let's see what or where is this Southern Highway. Okay, so let me share some information with you about this Southern Highway, kids. So it says the Southern Highway, which goes from Dangriga to Punta Gorda. Okay, so this highway now goes from Dangriga to Punta Gorda. So it goes from here, Dangriga, here, if you can see it in your map. Try to find Dangriga in your map, kids. Try to find Dangriga in your maps, kids. It is here, right? And then it goes, and here you see the Southern Highway. You can see there, it says the Southern Highway. This line here that goes here is called the Southern Highway, and it goes to Punta Gorda. Okay, so that's the Southern Highway. Let me highlight it for you. Let me trace that highway for you, kids, so that you can see. Okay, so that you can see the highway. And let me do it in purple. Okay, let me highlight that highway in purple. So it starts, the Southern Highway starts from Dangriga and it goes to Punta Gorda. So see, I'm doing it here with the purple color. Okay, so it goes to Punta Gorda. So this purple line that you see here from Dangriga to Punta Gorda is called the Southern Highway. Alright, so again, here I have it here. I have the little arrow showing you where it is. And if you cannot see it in your map, I will recommend you to trace it just the way I did it, okay? If you don't have the color purple, you can use another color. Just make sure to trace it and you know what you are tracing, kids. Alright? Excellent. Good. So we have covered the 4 major highways of our country, Belize. And there is one more that I will want to mention, okay? I will want to mention this last one. So let's look at it. Let's see which one it is. Okay? And this one is called the coastal highway. Okay? And let me share some information for you about the coastal highway. So it says the coastal highway, also known as the Manatee Highway or the shortcut. Okay, so look at your map here, kids, and you try to find that coastal highway or the Manatee Highway. So in your map you will find Manatee Highway. Okay, It says which joins the Western Highway. Okay, the Western, which is the George Price, right? It's not the Western again. Okay, it's the George Price. So that joins the George Price Highway west of Belize City with the Stan Creek Valley. So this coastal highway, right, joins the George Price Highway or the Western Highway to the Stan Creek Valley, not far from Dangriga. So, so let me continue, let me finish. However, this road is completely graveled and unpaved. Okay, so this highway or this coastal highway is not paved. Usually highways are paved, right? And they look nice and clean, right? And you can go a little bit faster, right? But this one is unpaved and graveled, right? So that's why some they don't really consider it as a highway, more as a shortcut. Okay, so they consider it more as a shortcut. So instead of going um, traveling for a longer time, they can travel in a shorter time. And where is this highway? So let me highlight it for you. Let me highlight this one for you, okay? And let me do this in orange. Okay, so this one is right here. See, if you look at your map, it is right here. This is what they refer as the western, the coastal highway or the Manatee Highway. You will see in your one, it has the Manatee Highway there. So if you don't see that clearly, you can write there the coastal highway. Okay, the same way I am doing it right now. You see? So here is the coastal highway. All right. So it joins the George Price Highway to Stan Creek Valley, which is not so far from Dangriga. All right. So this is they consider it more as a shortcut because it is not paved and gravel. Okay. So those are the major highways that you will encounter in our beautiful country of Belize, kids. All right, so let me go over the five major highways that we covered. Okay, so we had the Philip Goldson Highway. Okay, we had the Philip Goldson Highway, which was first named the Northern Highway, but then they changed it to the Philip Goldson Highway, right? Which runs from Belize City to through Corozal, reaching up to the Mexican border in Chetumal. Okay, so this Philip Goldson Highway, okay, runs from Belize City to Chetumal. Okay, then we have the George Price Highway, right, which was known before as the Western Highway, which runs from Belize City to Benque Viejo del Carmen, reaching to the border in Guatemala. Okay, so this is the highway that we are talking about, right? The George Price Highway. The other one we covered was the Hummingbird Highway, which runs from Belmopan to Dangriga. Okay, so this Hummingbird Highway runs from Belmopan to Dangriga. The other one was the Southern Highway, which runs from Dangriga to Punta Gorda. Okay, so the Southern Highway runs from Dangriga to Punta Gorda. And the last one we covered was the Coastal Highway or the Manatee Highway, right? Which they consider more as a shortcut, which runs from the George Price Highway to the Stan Creek Valley, which is not so far from Dangriga. Okay, so this is considered most as a shortcut. Okay, excellent, kids. So those were the five major highways that you will encounter in Belize. All right, so let's see. So in your package, in page 3, you will have to identify major highways that that can be found in our country. And I want you to write 3 major highways here in the lines provided. Any of the 3, I give you 5, right? So you will just need to write 3 of them here. Anyone that you just heard about, okay? And also, kids, make sure that you can identify the highways. If I give you, maybe I can give you the map, the scene map, and I tell you, okay, label the George Price Highway. You should be able to label it, right? If I tell you label the Southern Highway, you should be able to do it as well. Okay? So that will be the end of our lesson for today for social studies, right, which was based on the roads of Belize. Definitely, kids and parents, I will be sending another video because time has went on me. Okay, so I will definitely send another video where I talk about the major towns and cities and the rivers, major rivers in our country. So look forward for it as well, kids and parents. And if you want, you can go ahead and do your little research as well, which will be of much help for you. All right, so that's it. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I see you again on Monday. Bye bye.